Alex Garland and Mendoza's Warfare is not a war film in the traditional sense. It's a sensory assault, a raw plunge into the chaos of modern combat that strips away heroism, politics, and narrative convention to deliver an unflinching replication of lived experience. Based on co-director Mendoza's harrowing memories as a Navy SEAL during a botched 2006 surveillance mission in Ramadi, the film drops audiences into a claustrophobic apartment commandeered by American soldiers, embedding us alongside them as tedium spirals into catastrophe. Told in real time, Warfare chronicles the mission's collapse, a cascade of errors, explosions, and screams, without judgment, resolution, or respite. This is not a story about war. It's a visceral simulation of it. From the outset, the film rejects glamorization. The SEALs, played by a roster of rising stars like Will Poulter, Joseph Quinn, and Charles Melton, are not characters but ciphers. They have no backstories, no arcs, no grand speeches. Their identities blur into the collective grind of waiting, watching, and surviving. For nearly half the runtime, they crouch in a dim room, scribbling notes, urinating into bottles, and scanning insurgent territory through rifle scopes. The monotony is deliberate, almost oppressive, mirroring the soldiers' restless anticipation. When violence erupts, it does so without warning. A sudden ambush that transforms the apartment into a charnel house. Bullets pierce walls, bodies crumple mid-sentence, and the camera lurches as if caught in the crossfire. Garland and Mendoza prioritize disorientation over clarity, refusing to let viewers orient themselves. You don't watch Warfare, you endure it. The film's technical prowess is its backbone. Sound design here isn't just a component, it's a weapon. Glenn Fremantle's mix oscillates between deafening silence and overwhelming noise. In quieter moments, the creak of floorboards or the distant bark of a dog heightens unease. When chaos descends, the audio distorts. Gunfire muffles into dull thuds. Explosions ring with tinnitus-like shrillness, and the agonized screams of the wounded loop endlessly. One sequence, where a soldier writhes in pain after losing his legs, is almost unwatchable not for its visuals, but for the primal, unrelenting howls that dominate the soundtrack. The absence of a score amplifies the realism, grounding the horror in oral authenticity. This isn't Saving Private Ryan's stylized chaos. It's a nauseating echo of actual trauma. Visually, the film leans into grimy practicality. Cinematographer Rob Hardy trades sweeping vistas for tight, shaky close-ups, the camera jostling like another member of the platoon. The color palette, drained yellows and grays, mirrors the desolation of the urban battleground. Explosions are shot with jarring proximity, their flashes bleaching the screen, while blood splatters with unsettling randomness. Even the rare moments of dark humor, like a soldier tripping over his own grenade, feel less like relief and more like desperate gasps for air. The director's background in horror, Garland's 28 Days Later, Mendoza's work on Civil War, seeps into every frame, framing war not as a strategic game, but as a primal fight for survival. Where Warfare diverges from convention is its refusal to moralize. The Iraqi family trapped in the apartment is portrayed not as victims to be saved, but as collateral damage in a conflict they didn't choose. Their fear is palpable. A mother clutches her children, a father pleads in broken English, but the film denies them agency or resolution. Similarly, the SEALs are neither glorified nor vilified. They follow orders, make split-second decisions, and oscillate between competence and panic. When a soldier freezes mid-firefight, his comrades don't rally him with pep talks. They shout expletives and shove him aside. The film's neutrality is its most provocative choice. It doesn't ask us to support or condemn these men, only to witness their reality. This approach extends to the film's structure. There's no three-act plot, no cathartic climax. The mission simply unravels, escalating from boredom to bedlam without narrative signposts. Rescue attempts are delayed, communication fails, and leadership is conspicuously absent. The soldier's vulnerability is laid bare. These are not invincible heroes, but exhausted men scrambling to mitigate disaster. Charles Melton's late-entry character, leading a rescue team, embodies this futility. His arrival doesn't bring triumph, only more chaos. as the film underscores the absurdity of expecting order in war. Performances are uniformly compelling, though deliberately anonymized. Poulter and Quinn excel at conveying the duality of soldiers, professionals trained for combat, yet utterly unprepared for its psychological toll. A scene where Poulter's character methodically tends to a wound, hands trembling, speaks volumes without dialogue. Melton, as the rescue leader, balances authority with helplessness, his crisp commands crumbling as the situation deteriorates. The ensemble's chemistry feels authentically lived in, their camaraderie fraying under pressure. Yet the film's true standout is its soundscape, which transforms the actor's physicality into a visceral language of panic and pain. Warfare's most divisive quality is its rejection of traditional storytelling. Those seeking character development or thematic resolution will leave frustrated. The film's power lies in its immersive immediacy, its ability to replicate the disorientation and despair of combat. It's a movie that demands reflection rather than passive consumption. The lack of judgment on the war itself, the soldiers' actions, or the geopolitical context forces viewers to confront their own biases. Are we complicit in their trauma? Does neutrality equate to apathy? Garland and Mendoza offer no answers, trusting the audience to grapple with the ambiguity. At 94 minutes, the film is a relentless sprint, its brevity a mercy. By the end, the sensory overload leaves a lingering numbness, akin to the soldiers' shell-shocked stares. Warfare won't entertain in the traditional sense, but it achieves something rarer. It imprints the visceral cost of conflict, refusing to let us look away. In an era where war films often sanitize or sensationalize, this is a necessary, if punishing, corrective. It's not a film to love, but one to respect, a cinematic artifact that captures the essence of memory, fragmented and unforgiving. For those willing to endure it, Warfare is a landmark in experiential filmmaking. It's a mirror held up to the chaos of war, reflecting not heroism or ideology, but the raw, unvarnished truth of survival. You may leave shaken, angry, or numb, but you won't forget it. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell to stay up to date with all my movie reviews and movie analysis. I always appreciate your time, and I hope to see you in my next video.